Now, as just we have seen Kelvin's method, after that article, which is just we have finished, we will move over towards next article, that is potentiometer. Here the diagram of potentiometer I have shown you. Just potentiometer also can be shown without this arrangement also, but this is the diagram of potentiometer for calculating the unknown EMF of a cell. But before going to the experimental view, I will tell you what is potentiometer and how it can be used for different purposes. So, potentiometer, it is a device which is generally used to calculate an unknown EMF of a given cell. Suppose we have made some cell and we do not have EMF known, we do not know the exact EMF of that cell, then with the help of potentiometer you can calculate the EMF of that cell. So, potentiometer is a device which is used to calculate the EMF by comparing standard EMFs. Now, potentiometer is a device which has several meter long wire, near about 7 to 10 meter, or you can up to 15 meter also wire is used on a wooden, it can be used in a stretched manner on a wooden board, and this wire is connected to a battery E, a key K and rheostat RH. A galvanometer is also used and jockey is also used for that purpose to calculate unknown EMF of a given cell. So, potentiometer is used to calculate unknown EMF, comparison of EMFs, and also to find the internal resistance of a given EMF. For this purpose, the potentiometer are used in different experimental applications. The reading given by potentiometer is very accurate. You can have many more advantages of potentiometer than voltmeter, because the accuracy of potentiometer is very much higher than voltmeter, because we can increase the potential gradient or we can accurately design the potential gradient as we require. How small reading we will require, up to that level using potentiometer, by increasing its length we can decrease the potential gradient up to our requirement. So, this is very short little idea about potentiometer. This is the diagram of potentiometer to calculate the unknown EMF using this potentiometer experiment. So, this is the cell, okay, and it is galvanometer I have shown here. This is the jockey, this is several meter long wire stretched on wooden board. These are 2 points of contact A and B, and these several meter long wire is connected to battery, key K and rheostat. This is very simple arrangement. This is circuit diagram. Actual diagram of potentiometer is you have been seen in your experimental lab, a stretched wooden board having number of turns of a stretched wire up to 10 meter long. Now, with this very short introduction of potentiometer, we will move towards principle of potentiometer. Okay. So, in the examination, there are many times the question has been asked, state the principle of potentiometer. So, many of students can write very accurately, but some students get puzzled. What is the principle of potentiometer? How it can be right? In a very simple manner, I will explain. Principle of potentiometer means what? If suppose I have a wire AB, this is a several meter long wire, up to 10 to 15 meter long wire, and across that wire I have applied a potential of VAB. This is the potential across points of wire AB, and the length of the wire is given by capital L. Now, as soon as as soon as you close the key, the current starts flowing through the wire AB, and now here if you look this diagram, if this wire has uniform cross section, then the potential drop along this wire will be uniform. So, with this short explanation about this diagram, I will explain the principle of potentiometer. Suppose I have point P. Suppose I have a point P here, which is at a distance of small l from A. Now, the potential of point AP is equals to current into resistance of of length, resistance of length L. This is a length L. Now, suppose we have sigma, or you can take also here lambda also, but for sake of simplicity many book uses sigma. If sigma is the resistance per unit length, resistance per unit length for wire AC, for wire AB, then resistance of length is equals to, then we can write potential drop between AP is given by I is the current flowing through the wire, and we can write it as a sigma into L. But the total current flowing through the circuit is also given by the equation. We can write here I is equals to VAB divided by, we know current is equals to voltage divided by resistance, and the resistance of this complete wire is given by, you know, here length of the wire is L and sigma is the resistance per unit length. So, this is the current. If you put this value of current in this equation, then we will get VAP is equals to, I means potential across AB divided by sigma into capital L. This is the formula for current from this diagram, because the total current flowing through the circuit is equal to total potential across AB means VAB, and the resistance of this wire AB is given by sigma into L. Why? Because sigma is the resistance upon length for wire AB, and if you multiply resistance per unit length into length, so we will get the total resistance of wire AB. So, here total potential across AB divided by total resistance, you will get current, and the value of current we have put in this formula, and it is into sigma into L. So, in this diagram you will observe that here sigma get cancelled, and we will get VAB potential across AB into small l divided by L. This formula we will get. So, therefore, potential across AP is equals to, here as you look towards this term, potential is a constant, potential across AB is a constant which never change, and the length of the wire L is also, the length of AB wire AB is also same. So, these are these two different quantity remains constant, it will never change, and only the change will happen in length. If point moves away from A, or it will move towards A, then the value of small l can change. So, it means that the potential between A and P will be, yes, here if it is constant, then we can say that it is directly proportional to L, small l, because VAB and L are constants. Therefore, we can say that potential difference between VAP is directly proportional to L. If point P moves away from A, it means potential increases. If L increases, if this L increases, potential increases. If this L decreases, potential decreases. Means potential difference between given 2 points on the wire is directly proportional to its length on the wire. So, we can write this equation also here, proportionality, that is VAP upon L is equals to constant, and this is known as principle of this relation, or this relation is known as principle of potentiometer. So, with this mathematical expression, I think you get very much clear idea. If and now I will give the statement of principle of potentiometer. The principle of potentiometer can be stated as the potential difference between a given any two given points. Suppose here point A and point P of the potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length of the wire, here length of the wire between these 2 points. Okay. So, what is the principle of potentiometer? The potential difference between any 2 points on potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length of the wire between these 2 points of the potentiometer. So, this is the very simple concept of principle of potentiometer. If suppose in this diagram I have shown only ideal EMF here, which has very negligible, I think very zero resistance, inter resistance is 0, and I have taken only the resistance of wire here, that is sigma into L. In some cases potentiometer also uses rheostat, external resistances. So, in that case the formula will become will have slight change. So, what is that slight change we will take after this. I think all of you have got very much clear idea regarding this principle of potentiometer. So, we will move towards that formula. EMF of a cell, use of potentiometer to calculate the ratio of given comparison of two EMFs, and by sum and difference method and by separate cell method. It is also potentiometer is this formula is also important to calculate the internal resistance of a given cell using potentiometer. So, with this very short idea of principle of potentiometer and different formulas, we will move towards our next article, that is use of potentiometer to calculate the unknown EMF of a given cell. So, for that we will require a circuit diagram. So, in a very short time I will draw the circuit diagram. Still, if you have any doubt, then think on this article, and if you have any question at the last of this session, I will give my contact number and email ID to you. You can ask me any questions related to this article at any time. So, if this article as a point of NEET and JEE, number of numericals and MCQs and short VSA answers are asked on this article, principle of potentiometer. Use of potentiometer. Use of potentiometer. Potentiometer to compare EMFs of given two cells. The circuit diagram for this article is this is a potentiometer wire. It is a rheostat denoted by RH. Here one way key. After that here a battery. This is a point A. It is another point B of the potentiometer wire. This is a several meter long potentiometer wire. If you close the key, then the current flowing through the wire is denoted by I. Here I will show the two different cells whose EMF we have to be compared. This is first cell E1. It is another cell E2. First cell E1, second cell E2. Both cells are connected through a key K1 and K2. This is key K1 and this is another key K2. Here the another wire from this common terminal going to galvanometer, and other end of galvanometer is connected to jockey. Here is the jockey. Okay, this is first point. We can call it as a D, and this point can be call it as a, we can write it as a C, and it point can be write as a D. Suppose this is the little bit and very short circuit diagram, not all the description I have written here for each component, because this is a cell E, RH and key K, point A and point B. Now this is the required circuit diagram for use of potentiometer to compare EMFs of a given two cells. Now the positive terminal of a cell is connected to the potentiometer wire A, and the negative terminal of a battery is connected to the point B of potentiometer wire via key K and rheostat RH. From point A, the two cells E1 and E2 whose EMF is to be compared are connected to the point A, and the negative terminal of the battery is different two cells are connected to galvanometer via key K1 and K2, and the other end of a galvanometer is connected to jockey. Now the battery E should have high potential than E1 and E2 to work this potentiometer properly. So now here, as soon as you close the key K, it sets a current I which is flowing through the circuit potentiometer wire. Now, as to calculate the EMF of to calculate the comparison of E1 and E2, first of all you open this key K2 and close the key K1. Now as soon as you close the key K1 and touch the jockey at different points of the wire AB, at certain point you will find that the galvanometer shows zero deflection, and suppose at point C the EMF of a given cell E1 is balanced at from point A to C, the potential of this point A to, the potential difference between point A to C balances the EMF of a cell. So we can write here E1 is equals to I sigma AC, or we can write this length AC as a AC. We can take AC as a L1. So therefore EMF of given cell E1 is given by the formula I sigma L1. Why here I taken I sigma? Because here I sigma is the potential gradient. I sigma is the potential gradient. Suppose potential gradient is 1 millivolt per centimeter. Suppose it is not 1 millivolt, I will take it as a 0.1 volt per centimeter. For example, I sigma is equals to 0.1 volt per centimeter. And suppose it has L1 is equals to 20 centimeter. Then the E1 becomes 2 volt. 0.1 into 20, it will becomes 2 volt, like that. So similarly, if you got the null point for E1, then open this key K1 and close the key K2. Now adopt the same procedure as before. Start the touching the jockey from point A on different points of potentiometer wire, and find the null point for which the galvanometer shows once again a zero deflection. So at point D we got a null point for the while connecting cell E2 in the circuit, and therefore the EMF of second cell E2 is given by relation I sigma L2. So this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Here we have taken length AD is equals to L2. This length A to D for second cell we have taken as a L2. Now divide the first equation by equation second. On dividing we will get E1 upon E2 is equals to I sigma L1 divided by I sigma L2. So I sigma will get cancelled and we will get equation L1 upon L2. So the ratio that we have got here after comparison of two cell, that is E1 upon E2 is equals to L1 upon L2. And in this way we can use the potentiometer, this potentiometer, to compare the EMFs, that is E1 and E2 for comparison of given two cells. So this is very easy article for comparison, easy article as point of examination. No such hard steps are involved in this article. If you know potential gradient, formula for potential gradient I sigma, and if you just convert this potential between A and C as I sigma L1 and potential of point A and D as I sigma L2, you will ultimately got the step E1 upon E2, and this is the equation for comparison of two cells using the potentiometer. So with this we will stop here. Now in our next lecture I will teach you the use of potentiometer for sum and difference method and separate cell method, and the use of potentiometer for calculating the internal resistance of a cell. So with that, after completion of these two articles, we will move towards multiple choice question which are based on NEET and JEE. So we will stop here. Okay, thank you.